All right, good evening, everyone. Bruce Beddard with Beddard Mortgage Team here. I am recording this installment of my update on February 18th, 2011. If you need to get in touch with me, the best way to get me is always on my cell phone, even on the weekends, and that number is 847-772-1780. Give me a call if you need my help. Wow, what a week in the news. World events are in the news still. The unrest in Egypt seems to be settling down for the most part, and now we see protests in 3 other Muslim nations. Those seem to be getting more violent, so not sure how that's going to play out. But at the same time, I know that unless oil supplies are disruptive, probably aren't going to see much of a reaction in the stock market or in the bond market, which will affect mortgage rates. So it doesn't seem like anything's going to happen. But of course, if it spreads to oil-producing countries, or if the Suez Canal is shut down or something like that, it could get ugly pretty quick, and it could affect mortgage rates pretty significantly. So we'll just keep an eye on that long term. Now we even see protests in Wisconsin. You know, I really do feel bad for the state. They are trying to solve a budget crisis, which all of us across this country are saying is out of control, particularly in public pensions and public benefits compared to what we get in the private sector. And so what do they get for their trouble? They get slapped in the face. I realize that you may disagree. In fact, when I was talking to people about preparing this update for you, I was told, do not touch that subject. Some of the people you're sending this video to might have public employees that are spouses or significant others or friends. And all I can do is be true to myself, and I hope I don't make you angry, and I hope if you disagree with me, we just agree to disagree without having any harm. But quite frankly, I think they should simply fire the people that are taking off time from work and showing up to these protests. Reagan did it in 1980 with the air traffic controllers. They should fire them and say that you no longer can be a teacher in the state of Wisconsin. That way they can no longer hold our children's education hostage to negotiate a price on a contract. That's just ludicrous. There's no way that prison workers should be allowed to walk out. This is just out of control. Now, feel free to give me a call or send me a quick email if you disagree. I'm always open to listen to other points of view. Now let's talk about mortgage. What's going on in the mortgage world? 10-year bond rates moved down again this week, settling today at 3.59%. But in fact, actually, it had been as low as 3.55% this week. With banks being closed on Monday, they likely priced a little conservatively on Friday because of the 3-day weekend coming up. Now, we did see interest rates fall back down a little bit to 4.875 on 30-year fixed-rate mortgages. And again, I always tell you this based on a zero-point loan. Now, we really don't have any good direction to suggest which way the market's going to go, up or down next week. We're just going to need to wait and see the data as the market reopens on Tuesday. Now, I'm including a snapshot of a little graphic to try to tell you where the pundits are believing that rates are going to go, long-term and short-term. And so take a look at that. It's kind of a nice little visual indicator to let you know where people believe things are going to go. Now, you probably already know what's going on in the housing market, but let's just go ahead and recap what we saw this week. We saw housing starts at 596,000 compared to, that's in the month of January, compared to last month at 529,000. And the expectation was that it would hit 540,000. So the fact that it's 56,000 better than expectation, very, very good data. Now, housing permits were down a little bit, but really not too bad. They came in a little bit below what the expectation was. But again, considering how big the actual housing starts number was, that's good data. Now, one other piece of data that I saw this week, we saw delinquent mortgages, all mortgages that are delinquent, fall to 13.6%. That is the lowest that has been in a long, long time, probably 6 months or a year. And, again, what we got to do is try to figure out what that means and digest it. Is that because there's still a lag, from foreclosure filings that were halted back in the fourth quarter because of the robo-signing controversy? Or is it because the foreclosures never really materialized and got as bad as everyone had thought or feared that they would get? Not really 100% sure, only time will tell, a little bit more time. But my guess is I believe that I'm going to believe the foreclosure numbers are coming back a little bit more than I'm going to believe that it just wasn't as bad as everyone thought. So my advice to you, and I don't think I'm telling you anything you don't already know, tell your sellers now to get their homes on the market now rather than waiting for this next wave of foreclosures to hit us. You know, right now we're in this market where people are saying, I'll wait to the spring market because that's the good market. So don't let them wait till spring. It's not in your best interest. It's not in their best interest. I know you know that, but if you need somebody to tell them another theory or another perspective of why it's not a good time to wait till spring, I'd be happy to help you on that front. Now, more bad news on the loan front. FHA announced that all FHA loans with case numbers assigned after April 17th will have higher monthly mortgage insurance premium payments. We're currently at 0.90% of the loan amount, and then you divide that by 12 to come up with your monthly mortgage insurance payment, and that will go up 1/4 of a point to 1.15%. Now last year it was 0.55, so we had in essence doubled the cost of the monthly mortgage insurance premium in a little over a year. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, but that is not helping the housing market. So for instance, a $166,000 purchase would end up costing someone about $66 more in monthly mortgage insurance. And again, we could go through and calculate how much buying power they're losing by that. But so if you've got a loan closing in February, no harm. If you've got a loan closing in March, no harm. If you've got a loan closing in the first week of April, most likely no harm. But if you've got somebody closing at the end of April, they've got to make sure that their FHA case number has been pulled prior to April 17th. No excuses, no let go, no give backs if they don't pull, if the lender does not pull that by April 17th. Absolutely critical. Pull it now. There's no cost to pull an FHA case number. We're telling everybody here, pull your case numbers now. We want no delays and no trouble. Now, I'm preparing to hold a credit scoring seminar in the upcoming weeks. I wrote the material myself. It's my own material. It's very short, very simple, gets to the point of how a credit score is calculated and what consumers are doing that affect their credit score positively and what they're doing that's affecting their credit score negatively. I give them tips on how to improve their credit score, and at the end of the class, if they want, I'll pull their credit report for them free of charge, and I'll analyze it for them free of charge. So if you'd like to learn more about your credit score, or if you have someone in your database that would love to learn about it, I'd be happy to let them sit in on my class. It's absolutely free, so there's no reason for them not to take advantage of it. Just shoot me a quick email and let me know that you want to plan, that you plan on attending. That way I can have the appropriate amount of stuff ready for everyone. So you should be prepared as best you can to help give advice, because you know you're going to get calls from people that say, yeah, but my credit score is not the greatest. This is a great opportunity to give them a chance to improve their credit score, whether it's good or bad. So, and if you help your client save some money because they've improved their credit score, they'll love you for that. And if you don't help them improve, maybe it'll help them get off the fence because they think their credit score is not good enough, and we'll actually, in fact, teach them that maybe their credit score is good enough. So if it helps only one of your clients get off the fence and buy a home now, that's a great opportunity for you. Now, this week I've had 9 appointments with new people that want to be part of the radio show. If you haven't, if I haven't returned your call, if you've called me and left me a message and I haven't returned it, I promise I'll get you this week. I've just been real busy trying to get as many of the calls in and get appointments with everyone, and I don't like rushing appointments. I like making sure I take time to get to know people better. So drop me a voicemail if I haven't returned your call yet. I'll make sure that I get you a call this week and set up a time for us to talk. I want to make sure that I consider everyone that wants to come on the show. And if you change your mind later on down the road and you want to come on later, just give me a call. We'll talk about it. So if you're a top-notch real estate professional, again, I'm not looking for the brand new agents that have only closed one deal in their life, and I'm certainly not looking for the agent that's probably only closing one deal a year, one deal a month. That's not the appropriate agent for this real estate show. But if you know a top-notch insurance professional, financial planner, estate attorney, divorce attorney, BK attorney, I really want to get to meet them. And if you know of a good builder, I'd love to meet them as well. And I especially need a credit expert. I'm having trouble finding somebody that wants to be affiliated with the show from that perspective. They'll do well there. Now, remember, I'm here to assist you in any way that you feel will benefit your business. Just give me a call at 847-772-1780, and I will make myself available. Give me a call. I want to help you make a difference in your business. I hope you have a safe and prosperous weekend. We're going to take back this real estate market one transaction at a time, you and me. Bruce Beddard with Beddard Mortgage Team.